Welcome back to my channel, and this is the part 2 of the SAM MALOOF office chair build. Now if you didn't see part 1, that's already up on my channel, so I'd advise you to go watch that one before you start watching this one, so this one will make sense to you. This is part 2, and there's going to be a few more parts after this one. We're going to do the splats in a different video, and there'll probably be a final video after this one too. That's simply because I just want to take the time to try and explain what I'm doing, so I don't have to try and write as much in the comments to all your questions. So yeah, and forgive me for the voiceover. Again, it's not very good, but it's better than nothing, and I hope you understand what's going on. And if you don't, do drop a comment in the comment section and I'll try and reply back to you. But I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please hit the thumbs up button, comment, subscribe, and check out all my other videos, and I'll see you next time, everyone. So let's make it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video with me. This is the part 2 of the SAM MALOOF office chair build. If you haven't watched part 1, I highly recommend that you go watch that first so you know where we're at. But basically where we'd got the back legs pushed on and we got the front legs pushed on. And now what we need to do is we need to get the seat carved. Now a really good way of getting an outline is to just make a simple jig of what you want the shape of the seat to be. Make it ever so slightly larger, and then you can use a guide bush on a router to create that shape. I use a dome cutter, so it already creates a dome in the back, as you can see here. And I slowly just take little cuts at a time. You don't want to be doing a really big heavy cut and trying to get it done in one pass, because it will just tear out, and you may as well just do it properly. You can see here it's barely cutting. I just take literally 5mm off at a time, keep going round. I don't show the whole process, but yeah, just take your time on it. And as you can see, actually the jig is slightly raised at the front, and that gives it a rake, so at the front will always be not as deep as the back. So you can see here it's a really deep cut, and as I come forward the jig lifts up, so it brings the cutter up and it's a less of a cut. And then this now is basically a guide for me to carve to, and I've also kind of got the depth right on what I want it to be finished. And now we're going to head to the grinder, which I think the tool on here at the minute is called a turbo plane, and it's really fast at removing excess wood. It does leave it a very rough finish as well, but that's fine because we move on to a sanding grinder, and then we use spoke shaves and sandpaper and files, and it eventually becomes all smooth. So this is really just to get rid of the mass waste to start with. One thing I will say is this takes a lot of time. Don't expect to be going into this project and having it done in a week. I mean, this carving alone probably took 8 hours, so a full day's work. So yeah, don't think this is going to be an hour's work just carving the seat. It isn't. You need to take your time. As soon as you start rushing, you start missing bits, you leave bumps in, and that's when I always say you go from, I don't know how to explain it. You go from like one level to the next, and it's literally just on your finish, making sure there's no big bumps left and you've got all your scratches out. Just take your time. That would be my one piece of advice to you if you are gonna have a go at making anything like this. Make sure your standard is a high standard, because it will really show out at the end. So as you can see, we did use the turbo plane, which made it a really rough cut, and we got the wood away really fast. And now we're moving to a grinding sander with a rough disc on, and as you can see, it's going to blend out those bumps. It will make bumps, don't get me wrong, it's not going to take them all out for you. You will have to use hand tools, but it takes out all the major bumps, and you can kind of flatten it off, and you can slowly take down to your depth at that stage. I'm just going to let the video roll now, and I'm going to go off the mic and let you just experience me carving away, so do enjoy. So as you can see, that's the top of the seat all carved and looking nice and polished. I think they look really great. I think the grain really pops. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm going to say one thing now. Make sure you try it. It seems silly to say, but you don't want to make a chair, not trying it, and get to the very end, put oil on it and go, oh, this isn't very comfy. You want to make sure that it is actually comfy. So do try out your work as you're making it, because that's when you're able to make changes. So we're jumping back to the front legs here, and we're just going to drill them ready for putting screws in. So what I do is I drill maybe 10-15 mil deep with a 10 mil drill bit, and they'll be plugged at the end of the build. And then I go right through with a 5 mil drill bit for the thread of the screw to go through. So as you can see, I did the back legs too while I had the drill all set up. And then we're jumping back to the front legs. There is a little bit of jumping around on this video because the process just makes more sense to do things together. It makes it harder to video and show you what's going on, but I'm sure you'll pick it up because you're all very clever people. So we are jumping back to the front legs, and we're just going to get rid of as much waste as we can. They're curved both ways, as you just seen on that last clip, so it's really important that you make sure you are safe on the bandsaw. So I tape back on the waste, just make sure nothing's going to grab, and I take out the sides as well. And then it's down to hand tools again. You've just got to try and get it as round as you can, looking down from the top to see that you're flowing with your curves. This is me cutting them to length as well because they're very short. They're not really legs, because if you think of an office chair, office chairs don't have legs, but this will come from the seat to support the arms. So I'm still calling them legs. I'm really sorry if that confuses you. So I start off with a round cutter in the router just to give me a bit of a head start, and then I use a spoke shave to get it round. This again takes time. Don't rush it too much, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect at this stage because you will be filing it all together once the chair is all together and glued, screwed together. That's when you can really see the shapes flowing into one another, so you really do have to wait for it to be together, but might as well, while you've got a vise, get rid of excess waste. I hope that makes sense. I'm not very good at explaining stuff, as I explained in my first voiceover in the SAM MALOOF office chairs. But yeah, I hope you're getting an idea of it. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the lovely comments that came through. The video did really well on YouTube, and I'm really happy. It kind of makes it worth doing for me. And the comments were even better. So thank you very much for all your continued support. And please do know that no comment goes without being read, and it brightens up every day I read them. So again, thank you very much. And if you wanted to leave one in this video, I'd really appreciate it too. And hit that like button, and if you can, share it on any social platforms that you may have. So yeah, thank you. So as you can see here, those holes that I just drilled, you can get a screw through now, and you can get it all kind of mocked up so you can see how it's looking. So as you can see now, we've got the front legs kind of shaped, the back legs kind of shaped, all glued in. Not glued, I mean just screwed. We don't want to be gluing at this stage. But as you can see, there is a few components still missing, and the next one we're going to be working on is the arms. So we'll get that on. And again, don't forget to keep trying it out. It seems silly, but you want to just keep sitting in it, trying it out, seeing if you like it. So this is me doing that. It does look a bit stupid, but trust me, you don't want to get to that end process putting oil on and say, ooh, this is not comfy, because after all, every customer wants a comfy chair. So this is my arm template. It's very simple to make, and when you're making it, just go sit it on the bits that you've already made. You can lay that bit of MDF on the chair that you've already made, sit in it, try in it. I did do that, but it looked really stupid on camera, so I cut it out. So yeah, so I basically just cut them out to that shape, and then they're also shaped the other way, and the joint is an angle, and so is the back an angle. So this is the bit that's a little bit faffy, but if you make a template like I just have, again, you can try it with that template until it's bang on, and then you can cut this and just tweak it ever so slightly with a sharp hand plane, as you're about to see me do. You may have noticed as well, not all the components I actually plane to thickness. This is to gain as much thickness as I possibly can. I mean, after all, they are getting shaped and curved, so why do we need a flat surface to start with? Which actually gives you a bigger curve you're able to put on without having to glue bits on, which makes the end product look nicer. So that's why I haven't really planed anything down to thicknesses. Just gives you more timber to play with. So what we need to do is we need to create a joint for these arms, and we're going to be using a dowel. So I found the center with a center finder, and I knock in a little pin, and I cut the top off so it makes a bit of a spike, and then I literally just push the arm on in place where I want it to be, and that creates an indent in the other side, which is where the hole needs to be as well. So you've got two centers. I actually use this method for quite a lot of things in woodworking, so if you're wanting to put a magnet in a door or a stop somewhere, this is a really good way to do it. As you can see, this is me just making sure that the arm is going in exactly the right place, and then I push down firmly and create that mark. Again, don't rush this bit, because you do want to make sure that you're drilling in the right place, so just triple check that you're happy with where that arm was sitting. So as you can see, there's the dent. It makes quite a good dent. So if you're using a brad point drill bit like I am here, you've already got a centre for it to go into. And another good trick is to get out a square block and drill a hole in it nice and square on the pillar drill. This way, if you push that down onto your surface, you're going to be square no matter which way you go. So there's no risk of running out the side of your arm or whatever you're trying to drill. It is a really good trick, and you can use it in all sorts of different pieces of furniture. Even just creating shelf stud holes, it's a good trick to get used to. As you can see, I use it in both these things, and it gives me the right angle. And then I just simply cut a piece of dowel and knock that in and push the arm on. And then there is one bit that I missed filming, and that's just screwing the back of the arm. But all you do is you just drill through the back of the leg with a 10mm bit, and then right through with a 5 or 6mm bit, and yeah, you just hoss a screw through. I did miss filming that, and I'm really sorry about it, but yeah, there's nothing I can do now but tell you how to do it. So as you can see here, that's all the arms firmly jointed in place, and now there is only one other component missing that we're going to show in this video, and that's the headrest. And again, you did see at the start of part 1 me cut these out, and some of them fell into pieces because there was a crack, so I simply glued them back up with a bit of an angle, which creates the curve. Even if they didn't have a split in, I actually cut them in half anyway, so I could get this angle on to give them a bigger curve, because if it was just a flat piece of wood, you would have a very shallow curve, and I really like the fact that this was kind of a deep one, kind of to cup your head. And again, it's just down to hand tools and the bandsaw, taking as much as you can off, A compass plane's a really good thing to own if you have a workshop, or even if you just potter about in your garage. It's a really simple and great tool. You can do all sorts with it. So yeah, just taking off as much waste as I can, and planing in the ends so they fit in the top of the chair exactly where I want it to be, a nice snug fit. And then we're going to call this part 2 finished, because we have now got the back legs jointed, the front legs jointed, the arms on, and the headrest in. And the next thing we kind of need to do is start carving the lot, and we need to make the splats. Splats will be the next video that I'm going to bring out. I'm going to do that as a separate video, because splats can be put into any kind of chair, really. It doesn't have to be a SAM MALOOF chair, so I thought I'd do it as a separate part, because somebody might be making a different kind of chair that they could also be suited for. But I really hope you enjoyed this part 2 and that my voiceover made sense. I feel like maybe I did slightly better than part 1, but we'll see what the comments say, and hopefully part 3 will be even better. So I'll see you then, everyone. Bye!